Hey Francine, I'm really sorry. I hate to go on a business trip so soon after the wedding. The first day finally ended. Man, that was a long one.
Hey honey, it's okay. I admire how hard you work. Work is work. It can't be helped, right? I'll be going to South Korea on business with work myself soon, so it's not like I can say anything.
Sorry to leave you all alone with my mom all of a sudden like this. It's not awkward, is it? Is she doing anything weird?
Why are you apologizing, LOL? Everything's fine, really. Your mom's really kind.
It is? Okay, I'm happy to hear it. What did you do today?
Well, I had to meet someone for work. Then your mom asked me to make a dog kennel. So I went and bought a load of wood planks and building materials at Home Center.
What, a dog kennel? Was my mom planning on getting a dog?
To be honest, I don't really know. I did ask her if she was gonna buy a dog, but she just told me it's a secret and got all evasive. Your mom can be surprisingly playful sometimes, LOL.
That's weird. Did my mom like dogs? I don't remember ever seeing her with one. But I do remember one time when I was a kid, I brought a little stray puppy home and she absolutely flipped out at me. She wouldn't let me keep it.
Maybe she's a little lonely now, what with your dad not being around and all.
I wonder, could it be that? I am pleased though, I've always wanted a dog.
I'm pleased too. It's nice to be able to help your mom out with things. DIY always was my forte. Just you wait, I'm gonna make the best dog kennel there ever was.
I can't wait to see it. Good luck. I have one more thing to look forward to when I get back now.
Don't worry, if she gets the dog before you get home from your trip, I'll send you tons of photos.
Please do. I'm really curious to see what kind of dog she gets. I'm heading for lunch with some coworkers now, so catch you later.
Okay, honey. I'm gonna jump in the tub, then get ready for bed. Nighty-night. Linus, are you working right now? Please, will you reply when you get this? And please, I really need you to come home ASAP.
Francine, I'm really sorry. I just saw your messages. I was in a 3-hour business meeting. What happened? Are you okay?
Linus, your mom locked me out of the house.
Huh? My mom did that? She locked you out of the house? But why?
I have no idea why, but I suddenly started feeling sleepy while I was having a coffee with her. I don't remember anything else until, when I came around, I was outside. She came by with a gang of the neighbors to laugh at me just now. She said she has to instill some discipline in me because I'm a useless wife.
Discipline? What does that even mean? Where are you right now?
I'm in a kennel on a leash.
What the fuck? Sorry, but I'm not sure I understand. You're in a what? Is my phone bugging out?
I don't understand either, Linus. I don't understand at all. If I talk on the phone, your mom might hear and come back out.
Do you mean you're on a leash? Like it's around your neck? Inside a dog kennel?
Yes. Well, to be specific, I'm just outside the kennel. Why is this happening? I'm so confused. If I had to guess based on how things went down, I'd say she most likely carried me out here and attached it while I was asleep. Luckily, I had my phone in my pocket so I could still contact you. But wait, that's not even the worst bit. She brought me out a bowl of dog food for supper after her and the neighbors got done laughing at me. This whole situation is so disgusting. I wouldn't mind so much if people couldn't see me, but this is just too much.
You wouldn't mind? No, this is unacceptable! You're in a kennel on a leash, Francine!
Does your mom think I'm a dog?
Why the hell would she think that? Just to make sure, when you say you're in a kennel on a leash, does that mean you're stuck and you can't escape?
Yeah, she locked the leash to the kennel with a padlock. But don't worry, I messaged one of my friends and they're gonna sneak into the yard real soon. The bit around my neck is made of leather, so she's bringing some scissors to cut it off with.
I see. Sorry, babe, I'm really panicking here. I'm coming home as quickly as I can.
I'm so sorry to mess up your business trip, Linus. Thank you.
I'm the one who should be saying sorry. I really mean it, Francine. This would never have happened if I didn't suggest you live with my mom while I was away. I'll do anything. Please forgive me.
I I mean, I only have myself to blame. You made it very clear your mom subjected your past girlfriends to all kinds of crazy harassment. You told me that, and I ignored your warnings. If I just accepted what you told me, this would have never happened. So it's me who should be apologizing. I stubbornly agreed to live with her in spite of knowing her past. I felt super bad for her after losing your dad. I just thought it would be nice for her to have some company.
It's okay, babe. Just leave the rest to me now, okay? If my mom comes back outside before your friend gets there to rescue you, just play dumb.
Got it. I never would have imagined something like this would happen in a million years. In a certain sense, it's a valuable experience.
All I can do is apologize. I'm so sorry for all this.
Hang on, I should take a selfie. I probably won't get another chance like this.
Huh? Well, I guess that's true.
Done it. I'll show you when you get back. Be careful. Fly safe.
Linus, this is bad. Francine disappeared. Linus, are you there? I can see you read my messages. Reply.
What?
Not what? Is that any way to talk to your mother? Francine's gone. When I woke up this morning, she was nowhere to be found.
Mom, what the hell did you do?
What did I do? I didn't do anything. If I had to guess what you were talking about, maybe I did play a little joke on her that could be interpreted as having been a tiny bit mean.
A tiny bit mean?
Hear me out. Have you noticed how that girl's always smiling to herself absent-mindedly? Or how she sits like a sloth watching TV when there's very clearly housework to be done? Well, that's just not good enough for the wife of any son of mine, which is why I decided to instill some discipline into her. You should have seen her. She was really quite the sight. Me and the neighbors were in stitches. My stomach still hurts. I wanted to show you too, Linus. It's a shame you were away on business. Oh, you heard, did you? Well, that's just great. Wait, what? How the devil was she able to get in touch with you?
She has a phone, you know. All she had to do was message me. More importantly, I need you to tell me why the hell you would do something like that. Do you know how upset she is? Seriously, Mom, stop screwing around. This is no joke.
Like I told you, that girl needs to learn some discipline.
Why do you constantly interfere in my life like this, Mom? All the way back to when I was a kid, to my very first girlfriend. Remember the time you gave her a box of bugs for her birthday? Do ya? Because I do. Then there was the time when my girlfriend from college came over and you did nothing but mock her relentlessly because she grew up without a dad. In spite of all that, Francine was still kind enough to give living with you a shot because she wanted to keep you company. She was being kind to you, and this is how you repay her? And you know what? She did that in spite of my warnings. I told her living with you was a bad idea, and she ignored me because she didn't want you to be lonely. You trample on the good of others without even a hint of shame or remorse. Why are you like this?
Linus, I see Francine's got you wrapped around her little finger. She's poisoned you and turned you against me, has she?
Poison? She's done nothing of the sort. In fact, she probably has more patience for you than I do. Or at least she did. The only one who's poisoned here is you.
I had no choice. That girl is so slovenly that someone just had to teach her some manners. It was for her own good. First of all, what the hell is this job she does? Stylist? Pfft, I've never heard something so ridiculous. Can you think of anything more useless? A job for degenerates and delinquents if I've ever heard one. A woman's place is in the house. What good is she as a wife if she doesn't devote herself entirely to you and the housework?
I already told you she's in the process of quitting at the salon so she can spend more time at home. Do you ever listen to me?
And that's not the only thing. There's a good, legitimate reason for me deciding to discipline her.
What's that? Do tell me, this should be good.
Believe me, Linus, I know something that's going to shock you. A sordid secret of the most outrageous kind.
Francine has a secret?
I really didn't want to have to tell you this, but your wife is cheating on you.
Like hell she is. Francine's the last person in the world who would do something like that.
It's the God's honest truth. I've spoken to all of the neighbors at length about this, and we're all in agreement. There's no doubt about it. She's two-timing you, son. How are we so sure, you ask? Well, sometimes when you're out at work, she leaves the house for long periods of time with all these bags. On top of that, there's this guy who pulls up down the street. She gets in, and they drive off together. Plain as day for all to see. Then later on, he drops her off again. All of the neighbors have seen them. Brenda, Mavis, Dorothy, they all know. Everyone knows what your wife's up to except you, Linus.
So what? What does any of this prove?
I was so perplexed about what might be in the bag she's taking with her that I snuck in a look while she went to the bathroom one time. Because my instincts are as sharp as they come, and I just knew there'd be some kind of proof in there. And lo and behold, when I did, they were full of PVC leather clothes. There were more belts than I could even count. In short, they were full of things that normal, right-minded people would have absolutely no use for and really probably be disgusted by. I was so shocked, I almost fainted to think I'd been living under the same roof as a woman with such tastes. She puts on those clothes and uses those awful tools on her lover while you're away at work. I'm sure of it.
I see.
I'm just trying to save you from her wicked clutches, Linus. Can't you see? Everything I do is for you, son. Always. Which is why I'm certain the reason she disappeared today while you were away on business is so she and her pervert lover could run away and be together for good.
Because this guy you're so convinced is her pervert lover is the idol you're obsessed with.
I'm sorry? Excuse me?
The guy you and all the other old women from the neighborhood have been completely obsessed with lately. The guy she goes out with is Jay Woo, the K-pop idol. You know, the one who makes cameos in all your favorite dramas. Francine used to be a stylist.
What? What? Francine was Jay Woo's stylist?
That's right. He's been touring the US for a while now, right? Well, he hired Francine when he first came over because of her extensive experience in the industry, and she managed him for years. Even despite her having mostly retired now to be a stay-at-home housewife, he still offers her work every now and then. And the pay is so good, she'd be stupid to say no.
Are you saying your wife is meeting up with the Jay Woo?
Yes, that's what I'm saying, because it's her job.
Can I meet him too?
I knew that was coming. This is exactly why we didn't tell you. Because it's you, I knew that not only would you pester her to meet him, but you'd also go bragging about it to the neighbors and bugging Francine about meets, pictures, autographs. I knew we'd never hear the end of it. So I decided it was best we didn't tell you. The clothing and belts you found while you were snooping through my wife's things were costumes for the music video to his latest song, You're the Apple to My Pie.
Oh my god, what? His latest song? This can't be? You're lying! You're lying, you're lying, you're lying! Jay Woo's gonna wear that?
Which is why Francine is doing nothing wrong and has absolutely nothing to feel guilty about. This is her job, and I respect her for how hard she works. So I suggest you drop this absurd, hurtful misunderstanding and correct the neighbors about the lies you've told them while you're at it.
Fine, leave it to me. But still, you can't blame me for asking. If Francine and Jay Woo are so close, then wouldn't it be unreasonable to think she could pull some strings and arrange for me to get a ticket to his next concert, right?
I'm sure she could, if she wanted to. He goes out of his way to hire her despite the fact she's a full-time housewife now after all. It's pretty clear how much he trusts her.
I think I owe Francine an apology.
Yes, clearly you do. But now that I think about it, I doubt you'll ever get the chance. She has no intention of going back to your house after this.
Excuse me?
What do you mean, excuse me? Can you actually say you're surprised? Who in their right mind would want to go back to a house where all the neighbors saw them kenneled up like a dog and think they're cheating on their husband? Let's say, just for argument's sake, that she did want to go back. It still wouldn't be happening, because I won't allow it. You'll never see her again.
Come on, Linus! This all came about through some silly misunderstanding. Can't we just let bygones be bygones?
You think you get a get-out-of-jail-free card because you made a misunderstanding? You think you get to do whatever the hell you want because you made a misunderstanding? You have so little concept of right and wrong that you're actually dangerous. I'm ashamed to say I'm your son.
Come on, Linus, don't be so stubborn. I'm sorry for everything I did, really. I am. I'll do anything. Would you have me on my knees begging for forgiveness? Please, just bring Francine along and let's all live together happily again. I'll devote myself to mending fences with her. I'll make up for everything. A few months from now, we'll all have forgotten about this, and me and her will be best friends.
You think my wife would be best friends with someone who leashed her up in a kennel and fed her dog food? You're only saying this because you want to use her to get to Jay-Woo. I can read you like a book. You're so transparent, it's actually creepy. Oh yeah, I'm selling the house too.
What on earth are you thinking?
I'm pretty sure I should be the one asking you that.
This is too sudden. It's not fair of you to spring this on me now.
I decided yesterday, so I guess you could say it is pretty sudden.
Please, wait! Think this through! I'll have nowhere to live if you sell the house. Would you have me out on the streets? Your own mother?
What are you talking about? Don't you have a new house?
Huh?
Don't worry, I'm not taking that. It's all yours. The kennel.
My mother-in-law immediately sent me a groveling apology message. If I'd have known it would come to this, I might have told her about the situation with Jay-Woo from an earlier stage to avoid the hassle. But I know that if I did, the pestering for meets, autographs, pictures, and concert invites would have been endless. Just as we expected, after all this went down, she immediately went around the neighborhood bragging that her daughter-in-law was Jay-Woo's stylist. However, all the old women from the neighborhood she'd been gossiping to apologized to me with their heads hung in shame, which made me think they possessed a little more decency than my mother-in-law. But I quickly realized I was wrong when they immediately started begging me for tickets to Jay-Woo's concerts the moment they thought they were forgiven. I was deeply disappointed when I was forced to accept that they were all, my mother-in-law included, beyond saving. That said, I did make it clear that my mother-in-law had been lying to them all about me. I heard that she got treated like a pariah ever since, and now she's all alone with no one to badmouth others or gossip with. How tragic. After that, I hired a moving company to take all my belongings from the house. Linus was there to watch over things and make sure his mom didn't make any desperate last-ditch attempts at revenge. But far from it. Actually, all she did was curl up in the fetal position in the corner, crying her eyes out. Naturally, we told the moving company to see to it that all her belongings were left in front of the dog kennel in the yard. In the end, our attempt at living together ended in failure. But even so, I'm super happy we were able to give her the kennel as one final goodbye present. By the way, I still have the selfie I took of myself in the leash on my phone. The whole story was so ridiculous, it even makes me laugh now, years on. Now that it's all behind us, in a weird way, I'm actually pleased it happened. It's a great memory in all sorts of ways.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.
Hannah, I heard some things from my husband about your daughter there. Mai is going to be getting married. How's it going, Lisa? That's right. I was able to meet with her fiancé just last month and got to know about him a little more and about what he does for work. Don't you think that's a little strange that he'd be meeting you all first and you'd never say a thing to me? Why am I having to hear about all of this from my husband about your daughter getting married? Why would all of this be going through my husband first before I was ever aware of any of it? I'm sorry about that. I was thinking about having you meet her fiancé and telling you the news, but Maya's good friends with your husband. And when he came here last time, she might have told him the news in person. After all, she sees him at least once per month, and they like to go out to lunch and talk about life and everything that's been happening to them. And that's what I'd expect from your daughter. She'd rather talk to him more than her own grandma, just like you. Why do you all keep me out of the loop so often, after all the work I've done? I don't think that it's out of any spite towards you though, Lisa. It might just be that she happens to share a lot of interests with him. The both of them do really love to be around one another a lot, right? So it only makes sense that she tells him first. It's been a long time since you both last met, and Mai doesn't really text or anything like that much, so she wouldn't have thought to text you about it. But I've been the one that's given her the most attention compared to anyone else. When she needed help studying, I've been there to help teach her all sorts of things. You make a good point. And I'm thankful for all that you've helped her with. But in her case, she's a busy woman, and so she doesn't always think to tell everyone about things the moment they happen. She's getting around to sending the invitations for the wedding soon, so you would have found out eventually. Well, I guess me putting in all that effort was all for nothing in the end. I was so hopeful for her future because she's just as smart as my son. But then you guys let her go to a trade school instead of into university. I think that's a huge waste of money that you've just caused right there. And now she's going to lose all the potential she had. I'm sorry. But even after that, Mai has been doing great with the job she's found. So saying that we wasted all of that money, well, it's a bit rude, especially when you don't really go out to see the person she's become now. She's doing great, huh? She ended up giving up on her job in the fashion industry, right? And that's the reason she needs to get married now, right? I knew that would happen because nobody cares about hiring for the fashion industry anymore. No. She is still young and full of energy. And she's still working hard in her career of being a fashion designer. And I've heard from her that even after having kids, she still plans to work in the field so that she can enjoy what she loves doing. I think she's been into fashion all her life now, and has even studied a lot of it in her free time while she was still in middle and high school. So her giving up on it over money or anything like that doesn't seem like the kind of thing she'd be willing to do. Even though she's never going to have a chance to be rich now, right? These days, designing clothing is such a low-paying job. And most of the time, the people mass-producing the clothing in factories are making more than those that actually try to create some sort of new fashion line. Well, that all depends on what company she's a part of and what she's designing. She might just end up like my mother and be so good at fashion design that she even opens up a business of her own. If she manages something like that, then she can be her own boss and have a good chance of becoming rich. But remember, I think she'd be more into this line of work because she loves to design clothing. And so if the pay isn't that great, she's going to continue doing it. Look, back then designing clothing was a huge deal, and so your mom had the luck of opening a business. But these days, trying to do something like that will only drive her into debt. There's no way she can do what was done back then. The times have changed. But it is nice that your mother plans to leave a lot of money when she passes for all of us. And I'm thankful for that. Oh, don't tell me that Mai is doing all that work now like your mother because of the money she will leave behind. Maybe that's why she wants to become a fashion designer like her. That way your mom will take a bigger interest in her and fork her over a bit more money in the will. I don't think that's the reason Mai is going into the field. She's been into fashion longer than she's known about my mom's money, so... Who knows though, right? After all, she is the daughter of someone that never went to school. So she has to find easy ways to get money like you did. Now that I think about it, your mom really spoiled you back when you were growing up, right? Really, I feel so bad for mine that she's turned out more like you than my son. She could have gone to a wonderful university and studied in something that would have gotten her a well-paying job like her father. I think that Mai has a lot in common with her dad, though. I'm awful at things like fashion or arts, unlike he is. He's the kind of guy that's always been really good at designing and crafting things. And that's because my son is good at everything. And that's why he's working for a famous company now and making the money that you get to live off. Him being able to take care of you after all the mistakes you've made is due to me being a great mother for him. I suppose that could be so. Thank you for raising him. If you want to show your thanks towards me, then you should do a bit more than just say it. Take me on vacations with you guys, or give me presents every now and again. You should be doing a lot more for me, actually. Right now, my life is becoming a bit tight, as my husband's not making much anymore. Your mother has all that money, so maybe it's time you start to give us an allowance in advance before you get a lot more in her will. Or at least take me overseas somewhere nice for a change, so that I can really see how much you feel thankful for me. Is that what you want? But at the moment, we are a bit tight ourselves. Right, because Mai is going to be getting married soon, right? Right now, most young people don't have a lot of money, and so I'm sure her and her fiancé don't have much to spend on their wedding. That's too bad. You happen to raise a daughter that's going to cause you all sorts of trouble. I'm sure you already know this, but my son never took any of our money his whole life. He was never needy and asked for lots of toys. And when he went to university, he was on a full-ride scholarship, so we didn't have to do anything for him then either. And when you both had your wedding, your mom and him paid for it, right? You never spent a penny on it. I knew it. That the future of one's child all depends on how amazing the mother is. I think that Mai's fiancé is doing his best right now, and that him and her will make something work. Okay, I get it. I won't bother the two of you anymore, but I'll keep praying that some of that money from your mom comes for all of you as soon as it's distributed by her lawyer. Hannah, I just got that invitation from Mai regarding her wedding. What is up with this? Did something happen to it? I know that sometimes the mail service can be a bit rough with envelopes. So, if it's all bent or something, let me know and I'll have her send you guys a new one. I'm questioning the place that she'll be having her wedding at. That place is insanely pricey because of how famous it is. I've seen all sorts of documentaries about it on the TV, and I know that it takes 1-2 years in advance to get reservations there, right? Now that you mention it, she did tell me about how nice the wedding hall will be. But she told me that every so often someone will cancel and the date will open up. She was super lucky, wasn't she? Do you know how much it'll cost to afford a place like that? I haven't really talked with her yet about the cost of having a wedding there. I know for a fact that it'll at least be $30,000 just to have the reservation for the place. Then you have to think about the cost of the decor there that they'll want. And I'm sure the food will cost even more than the rest of the wedding combined. By then, you're looking at over $80,000 on that wedding. Is that so? You know a whole lot about that place, huh, Lisa? What is with that remark? Do you think that a price like that isn't extremely high? I get that you've had everything handed to you all your life, but some of us actually understand money and that it doesn't grow on trees. Well, whether it is or isn't, this is a once-in-a-lifetime thing for most people. So I think it's perfectly fine to let them have their special day where they'd like to have it, and spend as much as they're willing to. That's far too much money for 2 kids that don't have much. Are you and my son really going to be able to afford a place like that? And I heard that her dress is going to be crafted by a very well-known dressmaker. You all are acting crazy right now. Well, she was able to find that place by being a fashion designer herself. So, of course, she'd like to have someone she knows she can trust to be the ones making her dress. It's because of you having your head in the clouds that your daughter has chosen a place that expensive. I'm telling you right now that the wedding she's having is too much. You guys should be trying to help her by having a more realistic wedding, right? And if you have the ability to afford all of this with my son's earnings, then you have enough money to give me and my husband a monthly allowance. This and that are 2 very different things. There's nothing different between them. If you have all of that money right now, then you should be giving it to me. Are you really having that much of a financial struggle? The last time I met with you, you told me how much high-brand accessories you had bought from the mall. I bought all of them because they had gone on sale. With whatever I had in my savings, I was only able to get 2 necklaces and a coat. And my husband has told me that we can't go on vacation this year. Do you not feel bad for me? If you have that kind of money to buy all those branded things, even if on sale, then I don't really think I need to feel bad for you. Hannah, don't tell me you like to watch as the elderly struggle to stay happy and alive. Especially when I'm your own mother-in-law. You're asking me to live the rest of my life like I'm living in poverty. No, that's not at all what I want to see. I'm just saying that if you're able to buy things that are really expensive and have to give up a vacation for that, that seems pretty reasonable to me. I don't have a reason to have to give up a vacation just because I wanted these things, right? I cannot believe the way you're thinking of me right now. If you're willing to waste all of that money on someone that has no future with their fiancé, then you should be able to support my husband and I financially. All right? I'm asking you to give me some money right now. And you tell my son all of this as well for me. Lisa, what have you gone and done? Why did you think it was okay to do something so vile leading up to my daughter's wedding? What? I don't know what you're talking about. Stop trying to play dumb with me. I'm talking about what you did to my daughter's dress. What happened to Mai's wedding dress? I just got a call from one of the employees at the wedding hall. She told me that the dress she'd been preparing for Mai was all torn up and ruined. Oh? Oh no, that's not good at all. Well, now that her beautiful, handmade dress has been ruined, she'll have to cancel her wedding tomorrow, right? That dress was supposed to be the spotlight of the wedding, right? This was all because of you, right? You're the one that came and tore it up. And what are you saying right now to your own mother-in-law? Who is being the vile one right now? I have evidence that you did it. There are security cameras in place all around the wedding hall. There is video of you coming into the hall through the back emergency exit. Are you sure that's not someone else that happens to look a little like me? They say there are at least 3 people in the world that end up looking similar to one another. Is that so, Lisa? Well, if I have to call the police to come and look, I'm sure we can figure everything out. I should have them look into this now, right? You're going too far asking the police to come for something like that. Then you need to comply with me. I don't want things going too crazy during one of the most important weeks for Mai. Alright, look. I just wanted to come in and make her dress look even more amazing than it already was for her. It's an older style of wedding dress that I've made for her. That wasn't your intention, Lisa. This is all because you were upset that my husband and I said no to giving you any money when you asked us, right? What? So that's what you figured? And now you've harmed Mai when she had nothing to do with it. She is your son's daughter, your granddaughter. Well, your daughter having a dress that beautiful is too much. And having the wedding at a place like that is just outright stupid. You need to learn where to draw the line. But it's because you didn't stop her from choosing a place like that and getting that dress this has happened. You're done for, Lisa. The one that made that dress for Mai was my mother. Uh-huh. She made that for her? That has to be a lie, right? I'm not lying. Her and my mom worked together to make up a design for it. And then my mom went ahead and made that all by herself. And now, none of us are going to forgive you for what you've done. And of course, your son and me feel that same way. And what is your mother even going to be able to do about this? She's in her 80s now and on her way out, right? Her being upset with me isn't going to scare me. You haven't spoken or met with her in a very long time now, so you have no idea what's been going on with her. She may not come out of the house much anymore, but that doesn't mean that she's been on her deathbed. And I think she has the power to make you understand that. No matter what a grandma like her could try and do, I'm not going to lose to her. Tell her to not get too worked up over this or she might end up injuring herself, okay? All right then. Don't forget about anything that's been said today, okay? Also, do not bother coming to the wedding tomorrow. If you do manage to still come, you will be kicked out. Uh-huh, but the wedding tomorrow should be getting canceled now, right? What is Mai going to do for a dress now? She had some other dresses she'd been working on. And so right now, all of them are working together to finish up a new dress for her to wear tomorrow. They're all pros after all, so they'll make it happen. Oh no, making her grandma do all that work for her is going to be detrimental to her health, right? I think this might be the last dress your mother ever works on. And as for the wedding, I never planned on coming in the first place, so don't worry about me. I never wanted to celebrate her marriage at all. Hannah, I have something to ask of you. Can I have you come between me and your mother? Lisa, do you really think that I'm going to come and help you? You went and destroyed my daughter's dress that was made by her grandma for her. And right now, I've really started to regret all of that. And later, I'd like to go to Mai and tell her I'm sorry about that. And you think you should be apologizing to Mai before you apologize to my mom? Ah, that's right. I'm sorry. I'll be apologizing to the both of them after I took things a little overboard. Are you saying that you want to apologize only because your husband is asking to divorce you? So you know about all of that now? I do. Right after the wedding was over, your husband came up to us, and we all talked about what he was going to do about you. I'm sorry, but I don't think that my loving husband would ever really want to divorce me over something as meaningless as this. This is all happening because of your mom, right? No, this is what he wants. My mom only asks that he do so as soon as possible, because she expects that you might go out of control if he doesn't get rid of you in the next couple of weeks. So she was pretty much making him think about divorcing me. Nope. This whole time your husband has been worried about how much money you use. My mom was able to open a business of her own and has a lot of money at her disposal. But in your husband's case, he's just a normal employee, and so he doesn't have the kind of money my mom has. Yet, you continued to think that one day my mom would pass, and that the money would come from her and I'd be willing to give some of it to you. And that's why you've been overspending. Well, that's because back in the day your mother spoiled you so much with her money. And so I thought that when she passed, you'd be the same way and spoil me with that money. My mom has only been spoiling me with money so that I could use it to make sure that Mai was raised in a great home. But in your case, you don't know how to spend your money that you get from your husband, and just spend it all on clothing and accessories. And after your husband learned that you wouldn't stop buying unnecessary things, he stopped giving you money. Shut the hell up! People that have a lot of money should be okay with giving others their money to spend. And I'm all of your family. And it's because you are family that we shouldn't have to give you money that you'll just end up wasting. And from what I've heard as well, you barely even do any chores in your house and just go out to play with all your time. So, do you really think my husband and I want to give you any money now? I'm not just using all the money on myself, though. I made sure back in the day to give the money my husband gave me to my son so that he could go to a good school. And that was all to get him into a famous university so that one day you could use him as something to brag about to all your friends, right? That's how your son has always thought of the relation he had with you. And I was also there to pay for Mai to get lessons in piano and ballet, right? I even introduced her to some very amazing teachers. Mai was never into piano or ballet though, Lisa. All you did was waste your money forcing her to go to something she didn't care about. And as for those amazing teachers you found for her, they barely knew how to teach her the way she learned, so that was another waste. I thought that I was helping by doing all of that for her. My husband and I told you to stop plenty of times though, right? Yet you never once listened to either of us. Hey, do you really think it's okay for my husband to want a divorce now? I have been trying my best to be a good wife and mother. Well, it seems he's had enough of your selfishness. And you pushed him to his limit when you chose to destroy his granddaughter's dress. So I think him throwing you away is the right thing to do now. Hannah, I will change my ways from now on. I'll even make sure that any money I get from you guys now goes into my savings and is used on only necessary things. And I'll no longer say rude things to you. And I'll think about Mai more and apologize to her for what I've done. So, can we find some way to allow me one last chance to change my ways? I don't even need your mom to forgive me, just as long as I have the chance to show her that I can be better. The reason you don't want your husband to leave you isn't because of love or anything like that. You just want to stay a part of the family so that you can have some of whatever money my mom leaves when she passes, right? I've made sure to tell everyone that you've been eyeing her money. So stop thinking that we're going to give you any more chances to be a part of this family. I'm so sorry. Please, I'll do anything you ask of me, so help. If I'm divorced at this point in my life, I'll never be able to make it on my own. Well, this is what has happened after the path you choose to take. And the rest of the family has no more hope of you being a decent human being in our family. So go ahead and finish the rest of your life somewhere where you'll never get in the way of us again. From there, Lisa and her husband had a divorce, and her husband left the house that they had both been living in. The house was the one part of her divorce that her husband was willing to give her. And even though she kept asking for some of his money, his lawyer said that the house was worth more than what she deserved. She may have thought that after so many years of being married to him, she would at least get a large amount of money in a divorce. But because of the dress that she had ruined, which would be considered vandalism, the lawyer said it was being charged with that or get nothing else from her husband. She ended up selling their house after the divorce and made quite a bit for it in today's housing market. But it still wouldn't be enough to help her have a happy life with however many years she has left. So if she can't find a way to get a job or someone willing to marry her at the age she's at, she won't be around for much longer before being on the streets. Also, after the divorce, Lisa's husband, my mom, and the rest of us all blocked her number and cut ties from her. But every so often, we hear from her friends or others that we know as well as her that she will ask them for help. But unfortunately for her, there isn't one person willing to help her with money after the story they've all heard. I'm not sure what'll happen to Lisa going into the future, but what we do know is that she'll never be allowed to talk to any of us ever again. I'm not sure how much us not helping her or even talking to her has ruined her life, but it's what she gets for acting the way she did around us. As for my father-in-law, we had been talking with him, asking if he'd like to move in with us since our daughter would now be living with her husband. But just before we had settled to have him move in, my mom said that she'd provide a house for him to move into. Although not as big as the last house he had. My mom jokes a little about how she didn't want him ruining our privacy after we'd finally gotten rid of our daughter. But really, it was so kind of her to do something like that for him. And I still cannot believe that my daughter and all her coworkers and my mom were able to manage getting her a new dress in time for her wedding. Even though Lisa almost ruined what was my daughter's beautiful day, it was great to see she didn't ruin it and that Mai was able to still smile on her wedding day. As for the real reason that I had never given any money to Lisa when she was still around us, it's to do with my mom and my husband always telling me to never give her anything. And I never got to tell Lisa this, but we never paid for her wedding either. Rather, it was all paid for by Mai and her husband. But had Lisa